Hey guys, welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hello everyone and welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. I break down all things Big Brother 23. Let me know you can hear me in the chat, my friends. This is a very special night for many reasons, but because it is my first YouTube members only chat. So if you want to be a part of these YouTube member only chats, feel free to sign up for my one and only membership I have right now on YouTube. And you have access to that, my emojis, you have access to my badges, and it is a good time. Yes, yes, yes. Happy eviction night. We are going to break down this episode 25 of Big Brother season 23. Like, so excited. And mostly I'm excited because Tiffany is the new HOH. Tiffany is the new HOH. We had an endurance comp. I have notes. We're going to get into the whole episode, but we had an endurance comp. We had the spinny thingy majiggy where they knock you up against things and make you want to barf. And remember, Claire could not win this HOH, so she had to ultimately throw it because she was the secret HOH, and the Cookout was just hoping that Alyssa wasn't going to win. Okay, and Alyssa dropped second, almost right after Big D dropped. Alyssa dropped, and this is the one that Big D said he wanted to win. And I know Azah really wanted to win it. I do feel for Azah because I know she really wanted to win it and she hung in there, but she was slipping and she was in a really bad position after a while, where Tiffany had a really solid position. Kyland had a very solid position throughout this. We all knew Kai was going to try for it. We knew Tiffany was going to try for it possibly too. So it was basically Kai and Tiffany killing it in this HOH competition. Claire had to throw it. Xavi baby, I don't know if he intentionally did it. He could have. Might have, because the plan was initially to have either Azah or Big D. But once we saw this competition and once all of us knew that it was going to be an endurance comp, we were like, no. Daybed Derek, this one is not for you. So Tiffany is a new HOH. That's 2 weeks in a row. Tiffany haters, 2 weeks in a row, she has earned a HOH. And I'm happy for Tiffany, not only because I'm a fan of Tiffany, but also because these are 2 HOHs that she has earned. I just love Tiffany. And I love that there's so many people who don't love Tiffany. So this must make them so sad. It's okay. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Jamie B says, serial killer got sent to jury and Tiffany won HOH. And in honor of that, let's make sure we smash that like if you're not already subscribed or a member of my YouTube membership. Make sure you join so you can join us here in the chat. Put all your thoughts, hopes, dreams, and opinions in there. If you want to support the channel in another way, you can send a super chat. But liking the video very much helps us in the algorithm. So let me know what you guys are thinking. But man, yes, Callie, this is an exciting night because our girl Tiff won it. Yes, go cry into your pillows, angry men and some clueless women. All right, so let's break down this episode, okay? Coming in to this episode, we're coming off the veto ceremony where Hannah took Xavier off the block, and and Kyland's plan to get himself off the block to possibly be a sympathy vote for Sarah Beth did not work. So we're seeing the effects of that, the after effects. Tracy said they should have fitted Daybed with a cheerleading uniform because that's all he's doing on the sideline. He was pissed at first because he was the first one to fall. And then Julie Chen was like, oh, you look relaxed. I'm like, no, he looks mad. He looks big mad. He looks Daybed mad. He looks real mad. He looks like when he has to go up the stairs more than once a day mad. He looks mad. Okay. So Kai and SB, after the veto ceremony, we're coming back into this episode tonight. They immediately cuddle. Claire is pointed out we finally get to see what Xavier was very upset about on the feeds when Alyssa points out to Claire, you're the last, if after SB goes, you're the last white person. And then they talk about how there's no white dudes in jury and that's never been a thing before. And Xavier's like, why would you say that, Alyssa? Now you have to go out 7 and you were going to last a little bit longer. But really, I mean, she was going to go out soon anyways because she's not a part of the cookout. But Claire's like, yeah, I picked up on that. And in honor of Sarah Beth, these are a little crooked. These glasses, I saw Maddie, shout out to Maddie, Mad Rose D. She had hers on during her update. I've had these glasses for a while, but I don't like them because you guys who follow my vlog channel, they're kind of wobbly and I don't like them. But in honor of Sarah Beth, we will wear these for a little bit. Okay, so Alyssa points that out and Claire's like, yeah, I know about that. Yeah. I realize I have 2 eyes. I can see. I'm not a weirdo who's like, I don't see color. What's going on? What's happening? So then they talk about knowing Christian, once Christian was gone, that was the last white dude. And this is the first time in the history of Big Brother where there's been no white men in the jury, which is so weird because this has been something that's just always happened in Big Brother. So you have a lot of people who are very upset about this because they're not used to seeing this particular group not represented in jury. But let me assure you, white men, you're good. You're fine. Everything's going to be okay. Take deep breaths. I know there's a lot of you white guys out there too who are like, I don't even care. This is a good game. The Cookout is a good, strong alliance. But there are also a lot of you out there, I'd say the minority of people out there that come in my comments and stuff, explain it to me. And it's always a dude named Carl Sagan. And I'm like, I think Carl Sagan would get it. I feel like Carl Sagan, pink dot, he'd get it. He would get it. Blue dot, he'd get it. He'd get it. Whatever the dot was, he would get it. He would get it. So you'll be okay. Take a deep breath. Take a Xanny. Do something. Drink some water, preferably with Alexa, electrolytes, You're going to be okay. Jamie B says, I'm a white guy and I don't give a fuck. When you see good gameplay and when you see alliances that are killing it this way, why be mad? Why be so mad? Yes, I wore them in pics before. I do love a heart sunglass. These aren't my only heart sunglasses, but these ones are definitely Care Bear. Welcome to the YouTube membership. I just feel like singing all night. Because this is so great, you guys. This is so fantastic. I love it. As a Tiffany fan, I love it. As a Cookout fan, I love it. Okay. So, Claire was like, is there an alliance or something that I don't know about? There's got to be. And Claire's smart. There's no way she doesn't know. I don't think she knows the extent of it. And I also don't think once she started figuring it out, I don't think there was enough time for her to do anything about it. And she was already aligned with Tiffany. And I just think looking back, like we saw with DX tonight, there'll be a lot of things that they'll be like, oh, we missed that. Maybe we should have acted upon that. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, hit that like. Let's get a goal of getting up to 150 during this live stream. Mods, please keep me up to date. That would be amazing with our like count. And also subscribe to Joleen Vlogs if you haven't already. I got a vlog coming out probably after this. I got to finish editing it. Okay. So it's really hard to read with these on. So we will put them up here like this. I feel like they're very crooked. Okay. In honor of Sarah Beth, this season, our favorite villain this season, leaving. Okay. So then X is like, oh my God, when they were talking about Claire being the last white person, he's like, oh, I didn't recognize that. I didn't even realize that. Weird. Way to play it off, X. You are definitely doing better at playing this off than pretending that you are a bartender, Xavier. Then we see the Xavier Cam talk, which we talked about a couple breakdowns ago, where he was like, what the frick is Alyssa doing? And Alyssa, this is just so Alyssa. Alyssa is just there. And she's just saying things and she's getting in the way at this point. If you don't have game and you don't really have a strategy and you're not picking up what they're throwing down and what's going on, you're kind of just there. And I've said this about Alyssa for the past couple of weeks. She's getting in the way. She's walking in during very important conversations on the feeds for us feedsters. And she's just like, I'm just going to clean this dress. What are you guys doing? Oh, is Big D and Tiffany finally having the talk that people have been waiting to see what happens? I'll just stand here and ruin it. I'll just sit here. What's going on? Do you guys miss Christian? I miss Christian. You guys want to talk about bikinis? And we're like, no, we don't want to talk bikinis. We don't want to talk about Sarasota, Florida. We don't want to talk about Christian. We just need you to go to another room until it's your time to be evicted. Unless you're going to do something. But it's too late now. Like winning, even if she would have won this HOH, you guys, Alyssa's plan was to take Claire out, the only member who's not in the cookout. That's how good Xavier is. That's how he's got her on lock. He's got his side piece on lock. Xavier's doing the damn thing. So she was just going to put up Claire. We didn't really miss out on anything. You know? Kristen says, how do you join the YouTube membership? Help your girl out. There should be a join button right underneath this video. Mods, if you don't mind pointing her in the direction, if you can, that would be amazing. But there should be a join under this live, and you should be able to hit that, and you can join. I only have one membership right now, so it should be pretty simple after that. I hope it is. I hope it is. 71 likes. Thank you, guys. Keep the likes coming. What do you think about Kai telling SB about the alliance? We'll get to that, Callie Darkness. We will get to that. Yes, Tiffany. 2 weeks in a row. Two weeks in a row. 2 weeks. But she's trash and she's a bad player. But 2 weeks in a row, and we have 2 doubles coming up, and she's gonna be able to play. So she won't necessarily the cookout staying strong. She won't have to unless something crazy happens this week with the cookout. They're gonna take out Alyssa or Claire. And Big D had said if he was going to win, David was like, I'll throw them both up at the same time. I'll throw them both up at the same time. So after that, you got a double, and you still have one person not in the cookout to take out at that point, which Tiffany can't play in, but then she can play in the next HOH. And if she doesn't win that one, she can play in the next one. So this is actually a really good spot for Tiffany to be in. This is 2 HOHs under her belt. Along with the strategizing of the cookout, coming up with the side piece plan, and putting salt in Xavier's game. It's hard to deny that she's a great player. It's really hard to deny. And I don't see a lot of people actually denying that. So I see a lot of support for Tiffany, which is cool. But again, it's a subjective game, so you can like who you want to like. You're not wrong. But it is wrong when people are just like, Tiffany's a bitch. She's a bitch. And I'm just like, oh my God. Welcome to another season of Misogynistic Big Brother. She's a bitch. You don't like what the lady says, so you call her a bitch. Did it hurt your feelings? Did it hurt your little guy feelings? Did it hurt your little peen? Did Tiffany do something to you? All right. So then we see finally how Hannah hurt herself. There's a beetle. It sounded like there was a bee, but ultimately it was a beetle. Okay. Next week is a double. So if things go well, Claire and Alyssa will both be gone next Thursday. Yes. So you'll have, but Tiffany won't be able to play in that HOH, the first part, but she would be able to play in the second part, or she wouldn't be able to play in that second HOH. What I'm saying is she'll be eligible to play with all the cookout members once they hit the 6. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for her to win. Okay. We see Hannah. Poor Hannah. I really felt bad for Hannah because it sounded like a bee with the sound effects, but I guess it was a beetle, and they were outside, and you had Tiffany, and then you had David, Derek, and Hannah on the hammock. And Tiffany and David were talking about some kind of bug. I thought it was a bee. Turns out they kept saying beetle. And Tiffany's like, calm down. And David's like, nah, I can't calm down. And he starts freaking out. And then he gets up off the hammock, and poor Chada falls off, hits her head on the wood platform underneath the hammock. Hurts her arm, possibly concussed, very dangerous. And I'm thinking, Big D, Chada is tiny. You can't. That's like basic physics. You getting up from there, me getting up from there being with Chada, same thing's going to happen. We have to know our own mass, okay? We got a little bit of science here, a little bit of science. So they played it over, and it looks so painful, and she's like screaming, and Tiffany's helping her. She's got gloves on. The phlebotomist in her is definitely coming out. Big D just like, While that's happening, there's a surf and turf going on in the kitchen. And we got Claire and Azza. We got Claire the vegan and Azza not the vegan, I don't think. And they're doing surf and turf. And they got, I believe, steak in the oven. And with all the commotion going on, and also I don't think Claire was just paying attention to the steak because she is a vegan. She doesn't even like elephants in circuses. She made sure to say that during tonight's HOH competition. So a huge fire starts. So this isn't the first fire. We've seen many a fire in the Big Brother house. Many players in Big Brother have tried to burn down that house. But I was very impressed. We've seen seasons where people don't know how to use a fire extinguisher. But Azza was on it. Claire opened up the oven and she was like, holy shit, here come the flames. And then she gets inundated with smoke. So we got Hannah concussed. Big D is having, PTSD from seeing a beetle. We have Tiffany being the medic. Everyone going to check out there except for Oz and Claire. Claire is now inhaling smoke. Oz is like, get to the extinguisher. Open up the oven. And she puts it out. And then everyone's like, what a shit show. What a shit show. So yeah. All right. Thank you. Yes. Let's get to that 150, you guys. Let's get there. So I just felt so bad for Chada and her falling, and the feeds had cut that night that all this stuff went down. Okay. All because Big D is scared of a beetle. And I'll be honest, I don't like bugs either. I do not like bugs either. But that was a big reaction from a big man. Okay. Just a little maybe grab Chada with you. Since, listen, Big D has been waiting for a strongman competition. He's like, when are one of these comps going to be for the strongest of the strongmen? When is that happening? When are we getting a powerlifting comp? That's not a thing. That's not a thing, Big D. So if you want to practice for these strongmen competitions, if you're Mr. CrossFit over there, you should have just picked up Chada and then jumped off the hammock. That would have been a lot better. And at least you would have done something cool. Something where you're showing the strength you keep talking about that we have yet to see. Okay. So then the Cookout are talking in the bathroom. Some of the Cookout. Xavier's sleeping. Kylan's not there. But Oz is like, they're in the bathroom. And Oz is like, how do people not see this? How do they not see it? How do they not see what's going on? This is crazy to me. And then they hear the door open. They're like, because they've never been all in the same room. This is amazing for an alliance to have never been in the same room at the same time plotting, because we've seen many a big, grateful, hateful alliance. The committee have all been able to get together. The brigade, alliances are able to get together. But in this game, the Cookout knows that if they're all seen together, these red flags are going to go off. So they've been so cognizant of never having all 6 of them in the same room. So then the door opens and they're like, and it's Kylan. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then they realize, oh my God, there's 5 of us. Let's go wake up Xavier, the bartender who falls asleep at 6 p.m. Let's go get him. Okay. And Xavier, he's not impressed, but in his DR, you can tell that he's like, hell yeah. I'm proud that we all were finally able to get together and we're doing the damn thing. He's like, even though we've been in alliance this whole time, cool moment. I'm heading back to bed because bartenders go to bed very early. They put their hands in the middle. They're like, Cookout on 3, Cookout. And it was a really cool moment because, like I said, we never really see alliances not be able to, 6-person or more alliances not be able to meet with one another ever all together. It's weird. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was moving. I thought it was amazing. When it happened on the feeds, everyone was posting about it on Twitter. So a really cool moment. Thank you, Madison, for the super chat. Madison says, Claire is so oblivious. It's funny because she's so confident. Yes, it is funny that she's so confident. She's going to look back on this. I think Claire overall, we all had really high hopes for Claire as the super fan, but she really... there's so many moments that I feel like Claire, Sarah Beth, DX could have picked up on this, and this will be the things that keeps them awake. Jessica Milagros, our friend Jessica over at Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, talks about these Big Brother moments, and you only know if you've been in the house, that you still think about. Missed opportunities, things people said, stuff like that. It's really hard. It can be hard on your psyche, because when the game's over, you're not necessarily done with the game. And I could totally understand that, because you're in there for so long and it's such a mind F. And now you're out and you're supposed to just live in the world, but you're still thinking about all the would you, should you, could you. And then you have people online who think they're, Mr. and Mrs. Gamer, and they've never been in the house before. And so they all have opinions on your game. And they're holding you accountable to, why didn't you do this move? And it's like, well, I wasn't watching the feeds. We all do have to remember that, of course, we're the smartest. Of course, all of us here watching it, we're like, oh my God, I would totally do this or that. But we're not in the house. There are some things where you're like, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. But, there's a lot to be said for we see everything. They do not. He's waiting for a CrossFit competition. I mean, I'm trying to give him some credit here. He probably could lift one of those tires, Daybed Derek, that the CrossFit people do in the parking lots. Kristen, you figured it out. I'm so proud of you. Welcome to the Leen Team YouTube membership. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, 29 more likes to get to 150, you guys. Alex says, I'm so happy that Tiffany reclaimed her HOH. Not only that, but she won one of my personal fave comps. Every eviction is going to hurt from now on. It is going to hurt from now on. This is when it starts to, especially when you have, assuming, and maybe some of you aren't all in the same, maybe you have different faves. I can't imagine anyone cried when French dressing left, but I'm sure there's casuals out there who did. Or Brent or Whitney. But Christian, I think Christian had some fans. DX, obviously, that one hurts. I'm sure Brittany, I'm sure she had some fans out there. I know she did. She had fans out there. But now that we like all the people, and especially once it gets down to the 6, it is going to be rough. So thank you, Alex, for the super chat. And I'm so glad that Tiffany gets a full week in her HOH. Sweet. Okay. So after the cookout moment, what do we have next here? Big D thinks he can win the game. And that's so cute. That, bless his heart, that he thinks he's done nothing. And there were talks on the feeds. I believe it was Hannah and Claire and Alyssa and Tiffany were in the choral room, and they were having a good laugh at the things that Big D says and kind of his delusion with the game and imagining what it would be like if he got to the end and won. Listen, it could happen. I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, but we've seen crazy people win this game. We've seen, people who necessarily have the resumes, they don't win the game. Derek could slide to the end, and somehow people, they didn't see the cookout, and Derek is claiming that he would be able to state his case. And I'm like, okay. I think if Derek's up against someone, obviously Brittany, I think she would vote for him. Azza, if Azza is in the jury, I think she would vote for him. So he would have some votes. But, there is game left. He could build up his resume, but I can't imagine he could build it up enough to win this damn game. That would be a travesty. That would be like a Josh Martinez thing. And I even think Josh Martinez did more, than Daybed Derek. And that's hard for me to say because I don't really like Josh Martinez. I don't like him at all, really. No, I don't. And after the challenge, could we get him off the challenge? It's just ruining it. Okay, say one nice thing about Josh Martinez. He's been working out a lot. Good for you. Also, he was people were posting his Instagram stories and he was tongue kissing this girl, but I think she just went in for a kiss and he just stuck his tongue right in her mouth. So I think we have witnessed on social media Josh Martinez's first kiss. Congratulations, Josh. Hopefully there's not many more to come. Okay. So Big D stays delusional. Tiff and Kai talk about taking Big D out and about being the biggest targets. And this is where we talked about this previously on breakdowns, where Tiff and Kylan decide, let's keep each other around because we're both targets. So if you go, then I'm next. If I go, then you're next. And, they've had a long-standing final 2. There's been lots of, things that have happened throughout the game. And there have been little hiccups, being Kai's obsession with Sarah Beth and things like that. But I do think from what we're hearing from Kai, it could switch, but he does look at Tiffany as a good final two for him, better than Xavier, even though he's not going to admit that Xavier is a better player than him. I think he truly believes he can beat Tiffany. Now, as it progresses and how many more things Tiff can rack up on her resume, that could change. But as of now, Kai seemed more on board with that final two deal than Tiffany, because Tiffany quickly looked at the cameras and was like, if I had my choice, I want to take Chada. That's just me. But if Kai wants to take me, cool. But I don't know if I'm going to take him. You know what I mean? Andrea, we're on the same page. Hey, Salia. Oh my gosh, Salia, I love you. Yes, Care Bear. Him and Casey are the worst on the challenge. And Fessy. The Big Brother people are ruining the challenge, except for Amber B. And then we have some international BB people who are really cool. But other than that, they're just picking the worst of the worst. Okay. Me too, Callie. Thank goodness for COVID and Josh being a super spreader partying in Florida during the height of the Panakuchen that he was not on All-Stars. But unfortunately, he was still able to go on the challenge. So, you know, he's still benefiting despite continuing to be a super spreader. He's out there just living La Vida Florida, out at the clubs, maskless, you know. Josh Martinez. I take it back. You super suck. Okay. So they were saying that they would get out DX and then Xavier. So we'll see. Or DF, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I just prefer DX. DF and then Xavier. We get a jury segment, which I was really excited about. I love seeing our first jury segments. I always look forward to jury segments. I don't care. I like them. I don't think they do enough of them. I don't think we see enough. I think we should get a separate live feed jury, even if it's once a week, one day a week, where we have 24/7 cameras in the jury house. I think that would be amazing. This was an interesting jury segment in that we see Brittany right away. And Brittany's karate, oh my God, the karate, very good. I was kind of impressed, but maybe it was because they added sound effects, but she can kick really high. And she was like, boop, boop. And with her punches and whatever, I was really impressed with Brittany, for sure, for sure. That was pretty good, Britt. I was really proud of you. I feel like if I'm walking in a dark alley or a dark street again in Hollywood, going to a late night show and another gentleman chooses to chase me, I want Brittany to have my back. You know, I know DX comes from, you know, the Joe Frazier family, and he was teaching the women in the house boxing and stuff, but maybe Brittany should have been a little bit more open about her karate. You know, she's Cobra Kai. No, I mean, she wouldn't. Well, no, she's not mean enough to be Cobra Kai. So she would be whatever Daniel's son. She would be under Mr. Miyagi, I feel like. So, Ashley, welcome to the Leen Team. Thank you for joining the membership. Yes. Okay. Britt, yes. Britt's skills were, I was like, oh my God. Because when she said she was karate, I was like, cool. So's my little cousin, you know? But no, she's karate. This isn't like her TikToks. This was like skills to pay the bills. So good for you, Brittany. I loved seeing it. So then DX walks in and she's hoping it's going to be Kylan. And she's like, no, Brittany had the best. Let me see if I can pull a couple up here. Reaction faces this episode. She was just, she was shocked, obviously. She was just, she was dumbfounded. Like, how could this have happened? What is going on? Let's see. Okay, so here's one that I particularly liked. Let's see here. Okay. Let me pull this up for you guys. Let me exit out of this so we can get a full screen, hopefully. Now this is kind of when she sees what's going on, when he brings, you know, the tape from the house, and she's just like, what? But this was mostly her face throughout the jury segment. She was like, oh my God, this was her constantly. She was karate kicking, Cobra Kai. Thank you, Nana. My mom is in the chat. Show Nana some love. Love you, Nana. We'll be live tomorrow night talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I have to watch the episode still. I'm very excited about it. You hated missing out on the chat. Yeah, you can't miss out on the chat. You know, we just have one tier here. We make it pretty simple as of now. I don't know if we're going to get more because I do have a Patreon where I do exclusive content and stuff. So I don't want to make it too complicated for people. Hey, Nana. Thank you, Nana. I don't even know if Nana is a mod. Nana should be a mod. I think I made Nana mod. I don't know. I don't think Nana would know how to mod anyways, nor would she necessarily want to. But Brittany's facials were just everything. Look at her face. She's like, how did this happen? What do you mean? And then poor DX trying to explain it to her. And this is similar to when DX left and he was just like, ah. And the worst is when DX started figuring things out in his exit interview with Julie. I don't even know if I still have those screenshots where he was just like, oh, in his extended interview with Julie, he was like, no, that's why America gave me the money, because they wanted me to have a chance against this big alliance. And just seeing him come to that kind of realization, you know, it's rough, especially when it's players that you enjoy. So yeah, I think I got rid of the other ones of DX, but this is Brittany the whole time. Here's another Brittany classic. I was just screen grabbing all of them because this is what is going to happen. The more people enter jury, they're going to be like, how did I not see that? What is happening? And that was Brittany, our Karate Kid, our Daniel son, Brittany. Yes, yes, yes. So they start talking about what they believe, DX mostly, what he believes is going on, and Kai's message to him that there is this powerful alliance that he's been a part of that's been since week 1, and they're all still in the house. And she's like, who could that be? And they're speculating. And she was like, not Big D, not my homie Big D, not my homie Big D. Brittany, yeah, your homie Big D. Azza, though she believed Azza, but she was like, not Big D. Oh yes, Big D. Oh yes, ma'am, Big D. And then DX was like, I think it's genius. He was adding up how they all have their side pieces. Now I know there was an interview he did after he was evicted. I don't remember which media outlet it was, but they had kind of given away. I never ended up watching it, the interview, because it just kind of pissed me off, the headline already. And I think I had put it on the back burner, like, watch it. And I didn't. But watching his extended interview with Julie Chen told me quite a bit. And he was already putting pieces together during that time. So if someone did tip him off to the cookout completely, that sucks. But, you know, I guess it happens. Okay. Yes, definitely. It was really fun watching her reactions. I like this jury segment. I like their little chemistry together, but it's like, if you two could have just, I mean, they were played really well. I mean, I don't think DX realizes, you know, Hannah and her role and how big her role is in the cookout. But he will. And hopefully they will see this as very good game moves. And I think DX will see it that way. I think Brittany will too. I think someone who's going to have a hard time is Sarah Beth, and we'll get to that. So, Kai referenced in his goodbye message. Okay, so then we have, let's see. Okay, so then we have the vote for Sarah Beth, the eviction vote. And I just say the vote for Sarah Beth because we knew she was going. Again, Derek, not leaving this whole I gladly a vote Sarah Beth. Now it's a thing. Julie Chen hasn't for weeks corrected him. Just going forward, that's what he's saying. And listen, he will have I a vote merchandise after this. I'm calling it right now. He's going to have it. He's definitely going to have it. Okay, so then Sarah Beth is evicted. Now, she did get one sympathy vote. Tiffany, the cookout, had agreed that Tiffany she kind of pled her case of why she thinks she wants to give Sarah Beth a sympathy vote. And I think Kai was down with that because he does care about Sarah Beth. He really does. And Tiffany was also like, we were in the jackpot, me, her, and Claire. So I want to kind of give that to her. Tiffany coming through with the jury management. Now, had Kai not been on the block next to her, for sure, the cookout would have been like, yes, give her the vote for your jury management. Okay. But Kai does his own jury management then in the goodbye messages. So these goodbye messages were so interesting. They're getting more and more interesting the closer we get to the cookout making it to the 6. Okay. So Kai referenced in his goodbye message that that there's this alliance, and yes, I'm a part of it. And it's this, you know, strong, and I couldn't tell you about it, but I love you, nothing personal. And that, I think, hit Sarah Beth like, And I think she was shell-shocked. I don't think we'll truly see how she's going to react to this until the next jury segment, or possibly even after the show. This is something that's she played it off to Julie Chen. She was like, well, it's game, and I guess it's like a good thing. Good for them. It's a game, it's strategies, and it's all good. I mean, I regret every moment that I cuddled him, touched him, let him touch me, that time that he accidentally cut my boobs. But forensically, I'm going to recreate all their stem cells and create, an alter ego for them that'll ultimately murder all of them. Thank you. I'll head to the jury now to go start that science. I love science. But I think she's going to be a little mad. Now, Hannah's message, Chada's, wasn't really jury management. She was just kind of like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I remember watching it going, that's pretty honest, Chada. That was pretty honest. But in Chada's defense, Sarah Beth has been coming for her for a long time. And it's either you're going to, if Chada gets to the end, you're either going to respect her game and the fact that she got that far, or you're still just going to not like her. So she just laid it all out there. And it wasn't the kindest. Azah, I think she did a great job jury management wise to allude to. She hinted at this bigger alliance, and she couldn't keep you because she was a part of something with a greater purpose that meant something to her. So she could not keep her in the game. But nothing personal. I love you, girl. I'll see you on the outside. So I feel like different jury management tactics in the goodbye messages, but everybody definitely had a strong POV, not power of veto, but point of view coming through. Let's see. Ashley says, SB wakes people up by standing over them. I'm standing over you with scissors. Do you like being woken up with scissors? You don't? It's scary? Well, I don't like being railroaded by an alliance I didn't know nothing about because I was too busy getting cuddled. Like, that's what's going to happen. SB told Kylan she wasn't going to talk to anyone for at least a month. Kai was heartbroken. I'm telling you, yes, Ashley, I've been saying this. SB, there will be grudges held by SB. SB will not let this go. Everyone, I think, is going to be pretty cool about it. I mean, I'm sure it's going to, it's going to sting for everybody a little bit, but I think overall people will be like, they outplayed us. But I think SB is going to be, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Jamie says, I've been saying SB is going to be on 2020 in 10 years. That's what Jamie's predicting. Celia says, dude from last season was the worst ever. Dressing up for them, I would have said, I'm here for the money. You got 100K. I don't know who you guys are talking about, but I'm sure it's hilarious. I do like Hannah more and more every week too. Definitely. Okay. And then in the I should say speeches that they gave before voting, I thought Sarah Beth was decent compared to how she's been campaigning. It was better than her campaigns. Like, I think I'm just going to lay low. I don't really know. I'll just see what happens. It's like, you can't lay low this late in the game like that, especially when there's a big, huge alliance that's taking, it's too late. I don't know what she's doing. But at least in her speech, she was talking about, if I'm best for your game, keep me, and you just pay attention because you might think it's smart to get me out, but maybe it's not. So maybe putting a little bit of doubt. And some of her campaigning did hit with like certain people. I think she made some points that Tiffany was like, oh, but it was just, it's too late. You're up next to Kai. And these are things and relationships and stuff. I mean, it's just looked too sketch for too long. You're not a part of the alliance that's running the house. So unfortunately, you didn't catch on to it. You didn't work with the other people outside of it. That's just how it is. Rather than when we saw okay, let's compare it to a BB23. These people saw what was happening. Everyone who was outside of that alliance in a lot of ways saw what was happening. But unfortunately, you had people who still thought they could be cool and be in it, like a Cliff Hogg. Nicole Anthony really wasn't making huge moves. And they had with Camp Comeback, there was something. So you had these players just watching it happen. But with this season, we have players who really don't have any idea. And that's why Ozza tonight was like, how can they not know? Because to them, they're like, this seems pretty obvious that we're all working together. Because we're not. We all have these side pieces and all of our friends are going home. But yet nobody's suspicious. I mean, they've been suspicious, but they haven't really put it all together or done anything about it to stop it. So at this point, it's their fault. If you don't do anything to fight against the alliance. This isn't like BB23 where there was pre-gaming going on. This is an alliance that has gone here. They didn't even get to meet every week. They didn't get to hold up in the HOH room and strategize from preseason relationships or ties in or Daddy Derek helping their game. No. They're still able to do all of this while not being able to meet regularly, while having to hide out. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive. Okay. So then a little production snafu, if you will. They accidentally, when they blacked out Sarah Beth's picture, they blacked out Oz's picture too. So she went black and white. When Sarah Beth went black and white and left the house, so did Oz. And Oz was like, no, turn it back. Turn it back. Turn it back. Yes, let's get those likes up to 250. You guys smash that like if you haven't already. Tracy's saying, place your bets. I say SB on Snapped in approximately 21 days. All right. That's a show I like to watch, so I can watch my favorite little SB villain. Tammy says, will SB learn how she was played as more jurors come in and tell? Yes. And it all depends on, I guess, the goodbye messages going forward to Alyssa and Claire. And then also once they all get together and they start figuring things out and they can talk to DX, and Brittany maybe can be talked into that, yeah, Daybed Derek, he was a part of this big alliance. I definitely think she will learn more. So Daybed actually said his exact quote, because I wrote it down, was, I'm sorry. He said, I gladly to a vote. Yeah, no one, you're right, Thorella. I shouldn't even have doubted you. No one said sadly. I don't think said sadly. With your sonnies, thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying to just show a little bit of love to this season's villain, Sarah Beth. It's the closest thing I think we had to a villain this season, other than Daybed running around the house calling all the women bitches. All right. Let's see. Now, another jury management thing. So when Sarah Beth Franzel was talking to Julie Chen with that second last name I don't recognize, she said that Tiffany whispered to her that she voted for her to stay. And I was like, ooh, Tiffany. Yes, Tiffany. Yes. And then she also said that she stands by her decision in getting rid of DX, which I think if she is truly self-critical and open to seeing the error of her game, I think she'll see that was more in Kylan's benefit than her own. After finding out about the entire season and everything that was going on that she wasn't aware of. But at this time, she doesn't know all that stuff. So she says she stands by DX. And she said she actually regrets not working and being more loyal to Claire and Tiff. Yeah, that would have, granted, even that wouldn't have necessarily done anything if you didn't catch on to the cookout and do something to stop it. But had she remained really close with Claire, and had she not become sketch bee, like Chada has called her, and been sketchy and hung out with Kai so much, I think her and Claire could have developed a relationship. Her and Alyssa could have developed a relationship. Another reason why the women in the house, you should try to work together, ladies. You should try to work together. But Alyssa's definitely the type where she was like, ladies' alliances don't work. So I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to try it. It's like, well, how's that working out for you, Alyssa? Because had Alyssa and Claire and SB, been in communication and talking and had their own little side thing going on. And since Claire and Sketch B were already, in the jackpot together, had she nourished that relationship more, who knows? But I guess the same can be said for Claire. Had Claire maybe not been turned off by Sketch B as quickly as she was, or she just felt, Tiffany's social game is way better. Sketch B didn't really have a good social game. She didn't. She just sketched people out. With the row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. When the Veto take your top off and betray your team. I don't remember what the exact words were, but that's what it should have been. When the Veto take your top off and betray your teams. But who knows if, these women would have had, the women outside the cookout would have had better relationships with each other, So there we go. Okay. So Tiff whispering to her that she voted for her with the sympathy vote. She, that's a little more jury management for our queen, Tiffany. Claire admitted to being the secret HOH in her goodbye message. So that was interesting. And I think, that kind of transparency, I'm trying to think if that will hurt her against Sarah Beth, probably, because I don't know if Sketch B is going to be able to see. Well, I guess she is saying she regrets not being more loyal to Claire and Tiff. And she sees that because she saw that Claire then, kept the nominations the same as Tiffany. Now, had she probably in her head is like, had I been closer to Claire, she wouldn't have done that. And probably not. Probably it would have been a harder sell for Tiffany to put salt on Sketch B's game if Sketch B and Claire had a good relationship. Now, Tiff's good, and she started this salt on SB's game a long time ago, even when people were like, she shouldn't be she's doing it for personal reasons. And it's like, but how's it looking for her now? Pretty good. Okay. So like I said, Sarah Beth was shocked. And then Julie Chen's trying to ask questions about Kai, like on the sly. She's like, so what do you think? You're going to stay friends with Kai? You made a friend for life. And Sarah Beth is like, I think I made quite a few friends for life. Thank you, Julie Chen. Quit trying to destroy my relationship. I know what you're doing. I'm a scientist. You think you can pull that over on me, lady? You can't. I do like your dress, though. Julie Chen looked really beautiful tonight. I did love her outfit. Okay. The next two we find out are going to be double eviction. So we're going to have, instead of this triple everyone was fearing, we will have two doubles. Okay. For the next 2 Thursdays. So next week we'll have a double and the following week we'll have a double. And I think Julie said that has never been done in Big Brother before. Not that I remember. 2 doubles in a row. No, I do not remember that. Big D, then we go into the HOH competition. Big D falls immediately because it is the endurance comp, and he is he's not endured. He's just not endowed, not endured. It's not working for him. He falls immediately. He looks upset, but then he starts cheering for Azah. Azah did a great job. I did feel for her because I know she really wanted to win this. But unfortunately, she was like, I'm slipping. Alyssa fell really early, and she kept explaining to us, I was blacking out. I was getting sick. We got it, girl. But this was one you should have won. But again, had she won, her plan was to take out Claire. Great job, Cookout. Great job, Xavier, in making her believe that Claire is the one you should be taking out. The one person left not in the Cookout. Alyssa, you're the one who said you're the last white person. And that doesn't happen in Big Brother. But we also never have this much diversity in a season of Big Brother. But Alyssa's still like, yeah, I'm going to take her out. I'm going to finish the job. Maybe Alyssa secretly knows about the Cookout and she wants them to succeed with their mission. As a woman of color herself, she's like, hell yeah. She's like, F yes, America. Maybe that's because otherwise I don't know why, other than she just isn't in this game and she's not paying attention. Okay. Oh, the voice. I will do the voice forever and ever. Amen. Okay. Let's see. Thank you so much for the super chat. Baby girl Cal said, do you think they're doing 2 doubles instead of a triple so the cookout has the final 6 moment? For sure, for sure. There was a lot of people upset, myself included. But a lot of Big Brother podcasters, a lot of people on Twitter, that this triple was just going to completely ruin what we've been waiting to see. This is expect unexpected. I understand that they have to get their schedules ready with Big Brother well in advance, but they can switch stuff. And you know, maybe it could be that, or it could be that they saw that the triple wasn't really a big hit last season. They pulled it from BB Can. Wasn't a big hit. I think if they did it earlier in the season, maybe it would be cooler. Plus, it was destroyed when it came up on the screen and the Houseguest saw it. So the big blind side of a triple was ruined. So they're trying something different, I guess. But I'm okay with it because I did not want to miss that final 6 moment that we've all been waiting for when the cookout has to cannibalize. Okay. What else we got? Oh, so Claire has to throw it, like I said. So she throws the competition. She stays in for a little bit. And then Derek F is like, you're really solid, Claire. You're so solid. And then she's probably like, fudge. So then she hits the wall and she falls. And I think she took a cue of hearing other people getting sick, being Alyssa, and thinking, well, I'll just go with that. I'll play off that. And so then she's like, I'm going to be sick. Because Alyssa just would not be quiet about how sick. We got it. We got it. We got it, girl. We got it. And then it came down to Azah, Tiff, and Kylan. Unfortunately, Azah fell. She just didn't have good footing. Daybed was being a cheerleader. Like, you can do it, Azah. You can do it. You can do it. And then she didn't. And then you saw Tiff and Kylan. They weren't going to give up. They weren't going to throw this to Azah. No. There's, I think after we heard them both on the live feed saying that, Tiff's like, it might not be bad for me because I'll be able to play. If I win again, I'll get my room for a week. And, you know, I can make sure Alyssa goes. I can be the last person in the cookout with the side piece, which is great for your game, and also something that you can claim if you are in final 2 and when you're pitching to the jury, stuff like that. And then I can also play when we get to the 6. I won't be ineligible. So there you go. Baby girl cat. Okay, I already read that one. Sorry. Let's see. I thought Claire would go down at 4, so she wouldn't have to be a have-not. That's true, Afterella. And that could be, maybe she wasn't thinking about that. I would have been, but because the first 3 to fall were have-nots. So Alyssa, Derek, Daybed, Derek, and Claire are now all have-nots. Yeah, she just had to wait 1 more. So either there was a little bit of truth to she wasn't feeling well, but everyone was saying she looked solid. And I say everyone, I say Daybed, Derek was saying it. So who knows? Or she just didn't think, or she likes being a have-not. There are some weird people out there who don't mind it. Okay. All right. Tracy says, final 3, Tiff, Hannah, and Claire. Fight it out, girls. I know it's a stretch, but I'm expecting the unexpected. Yeah, I just, it'll be interesting. I expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected, I guess. Yeah. So now we have a Tiffany HOH, which means we'll get another Tiffany HOH room reveal. Hopefully they'll get Lemonade back, even though Tiffany did want Tupac. She wanted All Eyes on Me for her music. And then Alyssa, again, ruining the game. I'm sorry, Alyssa, but so many times she was like, oh no, Chris Brown. And I'm like, you can't pick Chris Brown over Tupac. Tiffany's 41. She's my age. Like, we grew up with Tupac. All Eyes on Me is a beautiful album. So no Chris Brown. No, Alyssa. No. Just because you don't know good music doesn't mean the rest of us don't. Okay? You're too young. You don't understand. You don't understand, Alyssa. Joleen Claire was hanging her head over the edge. She almost threw up. Yeah. Well, once she got off, she was like, I don't feel good. So maybe that was really what it was. She didn't even have to throw it. She was just that sick. Okay. JB said, I just realized I wasn't a patron fan, so I had to fix that. I am now. Oh, thank you. Welcome to being a Patreon. You guys, if you want to support me on Patreon, I am covering this season of The Circle Season 3 hitting Netflix on September 8th. I think the first episodes hit, and I'll be covering that exclusively for my $5 and $10 tiers. I only have 3 tiers on Patreon. $2 is just like a, hey, thank you, girl, and you get, you're in my video descriptions as a thank you listed as my patron. The $5 has some exclusive content with it. The $10 has even more exclusive content with it. But I decided if you are in the $10, you also get my season 2 circle and the Married to Bravo podcast where Chell and I break down previous seasons, not Married to Bravo, Married to Survivor, previous seasons of Survivor. But Chell and I will be covering, my husband and I will be covering the new season of Survivor starting September 22nd. And as soon as his new mic comes in, I got him one of those Yeti mics. Which I'm kind of jealous. I really like the mic I have, and it's a little more expensive. But the Yeti mic, you can change your voice, I guess, with just the mic. So I ordered him that. So as soon as he gets that, he'll be in the office. I'll be here, and we'll be able to go live. Because we used to sit next to each other. We have like an L-shaped desk right here, so we can't both really fit. It looks very awkward if you watched our previous Married to Survivor Patreon only shows. We were covering Cook Islands, and we're going to be jumping back in and covering the rest of Cook Islands because I think we took a little pause at episode 12. So now we do 2 episodes at a time. We'll be getting back into Cook Islands mid-September for Patreon for the $10 tier. And we'll be doing episodes 13 and 14, and Chell will have his fancy Yeti. But he can do fun voices, and I need to ultimately, I have it on my Amazon wish list, but I need to just buy it. One of those voice little things so I can have effects and stuff, because I have little things that I throw on here, like the Michael Darby. I mean, that's pretty shitty sound quality, but it's Michael Darby from Potomac. I also have Nancy from The Craft.
I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm against other people and harm against yourself. Wait, I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm against other people and harm against yourself. Wait, I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm against other people and harm against yourself. I bind you, Nancy.
I also have the iconic Dave Chappelle talking about why not to call people crazy.
The worst thing to call somebody is crazy is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
Iconic words by Dave Chappelle. And then obviously
it was a certified freak hoe show.
Who gonna check me, boo?
And Who Gonna Check Me, Boo by Sheree. And our girl Nene sending you lots of love.
I said what I said.
You know, we love a Nene. And rest in peace, Greg Leaks, who passed away yesterday, you guys. But I want just the audio soundboard that a lot of podcasters that I listen to use. Rob has a podcast. They're able to pull sounds like the Julie Chen when she was like, what was the thing she said? She says, not spoilers. It's now I'm forgetting, but those kind of things are fun. And then there's a comedian that I follow, and he has all that soundboard stuff. So this is the best I can do for soundboards, but I should probably do a little bit more research into it. So there you go. Mr. We are the weirdos. Yeah, we are the weirdos, Mr. I love The Craft. Yeah, I think this season of The Circle is going to be awesome. I'll be doing a cast assessment very soon. Yes, R.I.P. Greg. So overall, great episode of Big Brother tonight. Eviction episode on point. Loved it. Tiffany's the new HOH. We will see, but I'm assuming that we're going to have an Alyssa is going home this week. I mean, the only thing is if Alyssa somehow does pull herself off the block or someone takes her off the block, then Tiffany would be forced to put up Claire. That's going to be a rough one to get out of if that happens. Otherwise, maybe she'll turn on DF. I don't see that happening. I don't see the Cookout not going forward with the mission having gotten this far, but you never know. You never No. Yes, thank you, Ethel. Destiny, Destiny, Destiny. Because I see Rob as a podcast, I'll play that, and I'm like, oh, that's so fun. I need an audio mixer machiney thingy. And I know that's not the name of it, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. All right, you guys, there you have it. That is my breakdown. We'll see what happens on the live feeds. I'll be back tomorrow night, late night, Friday Night Live that I do with the Couch Potato Queens, Josh and Alex. That will be at 8:30 Pacific. So stay up late with us to have some fun. I can't believe tomorrow's already Friday. Is that right? It is right, because today's a Thursday eviction episode. That's crazy. But we have a lot of fun there. I'm probably going to try to get a Sarah Beth impression video out. I'm also going to be putting out a vlog on my Joleen Vlogs channel. Mods, feel free to drop that link, you guys. I think we're almost up to 800 subs. I would love to get it to 1,000 soon. We've been kind of hanging in the 700s for a while. I am going to start going live from there, doing vlog type stuff, more personal type vlogs, things like that, taking you guys along with me for trips and comedy shows, and I'll have my Laugh After Dark vlog up there. I still have some vacation vlogs to edit and put up there. So I do love vlogging. I do love it. It's fun. Hopefully you guys like it too. What else? Thank you for joining. Thank you for becoming YouTube members. We're going to be doing these members only chats every Thursday for the rest of the season of Big Brother. And then we'll probably go forward with each show we cover. We'll have one night a week. I mean, Big Brother's easy because there's lots of different episodes, but we'll try to keep it up where we have certain nights or certain episodes are just going to be for the Leen Team, the YouTube members. And if you follow me and Nana with 90 Day and stuff like that in Bravo, we'll do that too. I just want to make sure there's enough perks for you guys to be a part of the YouTube membership. Right now, like I said, we only have one tier. And yeah. So thank you so much. Tomorrow night, before I go live with Big Brother, I'll be going live with Nana for Married to Bravo, where we talk all about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then Saturday, Miranda and I, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, every Saturday, we go live and do the challenge chat with Joleen and Miranda. And we are breaking down this season of the challenge, Spies, Lies, and Allies, which the house guests have been talking about on the live feeds. Alyssa knows a lot about the challenge, which makes me think she and Christian are definitely going to try to get on the challenge. And I wouldn't be surprised if the challenge hit them up, even though Alyssa doesn't seem to be that great at competitions, but it doesn't necessarily translate because Davon wasn't the greatest at Big Brother competitions, but she did really well in challenge competitions. And then David Derek was talking, you guys, he thinks he's going to be called back for All Stars. Like an All-Star. I'm like, what? And then he was talking about being on the challenge. I'm like, and how he'd want to be partnered with CT. And I'm like, poor CT. He's taken enough hits with some of his partners. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need that. But a lot of them were talking about the challenge. Claire was talking about the challenge. Hannah. So hopefully they'll pluck some good BB players. So it's not just Josh, Casey, and Fessy, with Amber B being the only real winner out of the bunch so far. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some better US BB players. I should say Davon was for a while. And then Jose was for a little bit, and Davon and Jose as a partnership, and Natalie. So just right now, our current Big Brother players are. But there were some good Nigerian Big Brother players. If you watch Nigerian Big Brother, I think there were 2 women from Big Brother Nigeria and different casts, international casts of Survivor. So very interesting stuff. Nini girl, are you a patron? You're on the Leen Team here on YouTube. I feel like you're probably a patron, but if you're not, feel free to go to patreon.com/Joleen Lunzer. Feel free to drop that link. It's also in the description, and you can see if you are for sure a patron. That's patreon.com/Joleen Lunzer, and you can see my 3 tiers and what you'll get and all that kind of stuff. And they actually have this cool feature now where you can do a yearly and you get a discount. You get 11% off for a yearly. So there you go. Thank you so much, Sonia Wright, for the super sticker. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate. Ashley, he said, I just want strength comp. I want to hold something in. Yeah, he literally thinks there's like strongman competition. Like he's just going to have to carry the house. When really the house is carrying him. Yes, very easy. Here's my Patreon. Shannon Van is here. Shannon Van says, oh my God, is there a celebrity Big Brother in Nigeria? Can you imagine seeing Michael from 90 Day? I would love that. I would love that too. I would love that. All right. So a lot of fun stuff coming up tomorrow and Saturday right here on my channel. You guys don't forget to hit that subscribe. Obviously, you guys are all subscribed because you're YouTube members. But if you're watching and you are not a YouTube member and you haven't been able to join the chat, feel free to join for when we have these members only chats. And if you are like, no, thank you, I don't want to, just hit the subscribe, hit the like. It helps so much, you guys. Follow me on the social medias at TikTok, Twitter, and the Instagram at Joleen Lunzer. I believe I am going to be a Treetopia TikTok affiliate now, and my tree is on the way because now I'm a tree influencer. So there you go, you guys. Just know the sky is the limit. Okay, you can do, if you want to be a basic lady like me who just loves Treetopia, you too can live your dream and be a tree influencer. Okay, and that's been a goal of mine, and we're making it happen. We are making it happen. And thank you guys for all your support. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care of yourself, protect your energy, and go, Tiffany, go. Bye.
If you like what you